Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be providing a long-term analysis for QNT. There's a lot of positive and bullish signs on this chart, so I'm going to be looking at QNT's relationship to some weekly moving averages, some support and resistance zones, and I'm also going to talk about QNT on the Bitcoin ratio and how this has actually formed a new all-time high pretty recently. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, by the way, feel free to check out our sponsors in the link in the description below. This channel is partnered with the cryptocurrency exchange FTX.us. So first for QNT, I really want to focus on these two moving averages here. The red one is the 20 SMA and then the green one is the 21 EMA. I like to consider them as a band, and I use this for a lot of altcoins because of how well altcoins do respect these moving averages. And for QNT, I really want to go back here starting in 2021 where it first broke above these moving averages and it actually held it as support on two retests. So in June, we bounced off this level as support, another retest right here in July, eventually continuing and trending up higher to form this new all-time high. And then eventually QNT did break below these moving averages. It flipped it right into resistance. You can see all these weekly candles came up to this level, unable to break above it, in fact rejecting off of it. And then we had another lower high right here in March. That was yet another rejection. And actually, as of a few months ago back here in July, QNT has been sustainably above these moving averages. And when I say sustainably, I'm talking about and referring to the fact that QNT has had all these retests holding above this level and actually forming it as support. So now these moving averages are back to upward sloping. And if we just extend out these moving averages, say into the next few weeks, we can see that the support is rising, the demand is rising. So if QNT does have some sort of correction, I would look out to these weekly moving averages as our support. And I would specifically look to see if we can continue to remain above them and bounce off of them like we already seen back here in August as well as September. Now, beyond that, I also want to focus on this level right around $150. So I'm going to remove these drawings and I'm going to extend out this level because of how significant this has been for QNT over the last few years. So for QNT, going back here to August of 2021, this was a very key level of support because we had this big red weekly candle after this massive leg up, and this is where QNT started to reverse, pivoted off of, and then formed a new all-time high. And then eventually we came back down, retested this level in November and December of 2021, eventually breaking down from that support and flipping it right into resistance on this move again in March and April, that lower high. So I will be watching out to see if QNT can remain above this level sustainably, and if we do have a correction back down, I'm going to be watching out to see if QNT can flip it into support. So as an illustration, if we do get that move coming back down and we start to retest this level, look to see if we have a reaction, a bounce off of it, and then if we can form a higher high, that would really cement this uptrend where QNT has formed these higher lows as well as higher highs, making a very clean structure and breaking above some of these previous lower highs that we formed in this downtrend. So now I want to switch over here to the QNT Bitcoin ratio, which, as I mentioned earlier, has formed a new all-time high. So this is very significant. And I really want to see for QNT starting to consolidate right here. So it would not be a bad sign for QNT on the Bitcoin ratio to just go sideways for the next few weeks. And I would like to see this because we've just come off this really huge rally going back here. In June, we've already gone up right here about 580% in just the last 18 weeks. And that is very significant. So when you get such steep rallies, in general, it is good to have a cooling off period, a sideways and accumulation zone before continuing higher, because these moves are quite honestly unsustainable. You can see if I were to just extend out this move, this current pace, it could get really quick up to these higher valuations, which again, I really don't think is sustainable. I don't think this is realistic. So seeing some sort of consolidation phase, a cooling off phase, would help give us a little bit more of a base to go off of, forming some support. And this is a perfect and logical level to do so, because going back, again, this was previous resistance on this move in September of 2021. So flipping that from previous resistance in September last year into support now would be a great and positive bullish sign. And if we do get a move like this, I will be looking out to see if we can consolidate for a few months. Ideally, the longer the better, because that really does start to give away with all of this euphoric emotions towards this massive, almost vertical like move. And you can see what I'm talking about on this move right here. Back in August, we did get a brief period of consolidation with this range from around 430 to 540,000 Satoshis. You can see we actually reached this level. We started to go sideways, oscillate, and then when we did have another breakout, we continued that uptrend, continued that rally. So really, I do want to see a cooling off period here into the next few months. That would make this chart a lot more bullish. I will say though, if QNT Bitcoin does break below the previous zone of resistance back here in September of 2021, and I'll give you an illustration of something like this, where if we do come back below this level and flip it into resistance, I will look at this as a longer term deviation and a fake out, and I don't think this would be a bullish sign anymore. So even though I do want to see a cool off, I don't want to see continued vertical rally, I still want to see us hold above the support, comfortably above this level, right around 776,000 Satoshis, which was once again the previous resistance right here in September of 2021. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content and the analysis. By the way, once again, check out our sponsors in the link in the description below. This channel is partnered with the cryptocurrency exchange, FTX.us. As always, I hope you guys enjoy the content, and I will see you in the next one.